The Santa Fe Convention Center seems to be in good use these days. In fact, another conference is set there for this weekend. KSFR's Karen Machon reports.
It's called Celebrate Sustainable Santa Fe Festival, and its executive producer, Judd Schwartz, is a man on a mission.
Well, for us, sustainability has to do with everything in your life, physical, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual, and environmental happiness, health, and wellness. And we invite anyone who does anything good for the planet to have a booth and teach a class in what it is they do. And we bring in speakers from all walks of life to talk about that, and then music at the end of the day to celebrate and dance together the fact that we live in a sustainable community as wonderful as Santa Fe.
I asked a few people to give me their take on what this new catchword sustainability means to them. The first question back at me was, in reference to what? Are we talking environment, architecture, commerce, energy, food? So with Santa Fe's 400th anniversary happening this summer, people from all over the country have come to the biggest little small town in America to try to determine some standards for our present next best step. I had read that Santa Fe is considered one of the hubs of sustainability in the United States. Is that so?
It absolutely is so, and a clear indication of that is the new Santa Fe Community Convention Center, which is a Silver LEED certified green building using 85% of the materials that came from the old Sweeney Center that was torn down to build it.
So who's going to be at your festival?
Well, of course, the music at the end of the day is the most well-known thing. Of course, Big Head Todd headlines and closes the entire event Sunday night. And we have Paolo Soleri, who is the creator of Arcosanti, which is, I would think, the first sustainable community in America that is in still existence in Arizona. We also have John Robbins, a master in food after leaving the Baskin-Robbins fortune. He'll be here on Saturday along with Jim Hightower, who Jim Hightower was the head of the Department of Agriculture in Texas.
This entire weekend sounds to me like a compressed PhD in sustainability, so I went looking for one expert in one particular specialty and found George Campanelli, who is speaking on Sunday. His organization, the Re-Empowering America Institute, is focused on transportation.
Transportation is a critical sector because that's where we actually burn the petroleum that sends CO2 emissions into the atmosphere and creates pollution.
So this new energy sector that you refer to, what's your take on how they're doing right now?
We're talking a wonderful game. To focus on very long-term plans, all of which are good, but the fundamental problem is that I don't see these energy plans impacting our way of life for 15 or 20 years or longer, and for me, that's too long. I think this last election reminded us that it's possible, and now I think we have to keep the transportation sector analogy working here, I think we have to keep our foot on the gas pedal, but it's got to be natural gas, and it's got to be electric, and it's got to be some other thing.
I asked both these men to tell me what each of us as individuals could be doing to affect these productive efforts that have been discussed. They each summed it up very beautifully.
Each one of us have to care not only about the quality of our own lives, but of the quality of the lives that we are leaving to future generations.
Well, of course, the biggest favorite thing is to do recycling. Recycle your glass and your cans. Reuse your things that can be reused. These are things, household things that can be done all the time, and we've been talking about since the 70s, and it's now the 2000s, and we should be doing it as a regular habit, and I hope and presume everyone is, to ride your bicycle whenever possible and use mass transportation. I think, the Rail Runner is a great example of how, things are starting to happen here in New Mexico between Albuquerque and Santa Fe in particular, and it's a wonderful service, and we really appreciate the Rail Runner. I mean, there's nothing new in this. There's nothing new. We've known these things a long time. It's time we practice them as an everyday occurrence. And I believe that community is truly best served by us coming together and looking in each other's eyes and talking to each other and realizing how much we have in common and how important it is to be with each other in person as community. And that's why we're doing this event more than any other reason.
For KSFR News, I'm Karen Michon.